98 Sports Talk here. I want to talk about Wisconsin taking on Miami in the Orange Bowl. This game is a really, really interesting one for me. These are two teams that were undefeated through a large part of the season. Obviously, Wisconsin, Wisconsin went all the way to the Big Ten championship, and of course, lost to Ohio State. Miami had a really they had a great season. Let's be honest. Nobody expected Coach Rick to go down there and get the team where they're at this season. I think if anything, they're maybe a year or two ahead of schedule. But certainly nobody expected them to lose to Pittsburgh either, and then they just got blown out of the stadium versus Clemson. So they really fell off the cliff, and kind of it was maybe one of those situations where they just weren't as good as everybody thought they were, and that's kind of what I expected out of Miami. I was shocked they were undefeated for the large part of the season. I was shocked they blew out Notre Dame. Maybe Notre Dame just had a bad game, but I was pretty surprised at that one. So this is a it's a really interesting game for me. Wisconsin, they didn't play anybody all season. They play in the week, side of the Big Ten. We really didn't know who Wisconsin was until they played Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. I think they played pretty well against Ohio State. So, against Miami, I look at this game, and obviously Miami's playing. It's a home game for Miami. They're playing in their home stadium in the Orange Bowl. So that gives Miami a big advantage there. Miami is somewhat, I don't want to say they're one dimensional, but Malik Rozier really just hasn't had a great year. Even got benched late in the Pitt game for a series. I just, I'm not sure if Miami can win this one, even if they have the home field advantage. Wisconsin is favored by about 5.5, 6 points. So, I kind of look at this game and I think to myself, well, Miami will probably, not really move the ball on Wisconsin too well. They've got, Wisconsin does have a pretty good defense. And I think Wisconsin, obviously they're not a big passing team. They just want to run the ball. So I don't think they're going to be turning the ball over this one, in this game. So, I don't think we're going to see the turnover chain. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I don't see Wisconsin committing a lot of turnovers. So this one's going to be, I see this game being a close game. I think if it was at a neutral site, I think Wisconsin might be an easier pick. But since Miami is at home, they're obviously going to have a big advantage. I'm sure even though they lost the last couple games, that people will come out and support their team. They did have a good season, and they are ahead of schedule. So, but just looking at the game, I'm not a big fan of Malik Rozier. He just he just didn't have a very good season in my opinion. It was kind of like a JT Barrett in a sense. Just you kind of expected more and didn't really get it. So I'm going to say Wisconsin in this one. I believe it's going to be a low scoring game. So let's take Wisconsin 27, and let's throw up a 20 spot for Miami. So Wisconsin covers, I think, not by a whole lot, but I do think they'll cover in this one. I think they'll win the game, even though it's in the Orange Bowl. Looking forward to the game, though. Definitely, I want to see how both of these teams close it out, because they both, had playoff aspirations until the final weeks of the season. So it should be a good one. Looking forward to it.